The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 50, Secrets. Lorik, Vera shouts while jumping out of her chair. Master, what did you do? Sarah says in a demanding tone. Oh, relax, you two, Cyrilda says before sighing. Lorik's fine, don't worry. I just gave him a cup of soul-relaxing tea. It's a tea that relaxes the very soul. As a result, Cyrilda starts before losing the words to explain it. It basically works as a truth serum. It relaxes the soul and makes you incapable of lying. You also feel inclined to answer any questions asked. He'll wake back up in a minute. The only side effect is that he'll sleep for a few days after this. Kind Eldrin explains as Vera returns to her seat. She scoots it closer to Lorik when she does so. Why did you give that to him? Sarah asks. It's because he has connections to the black market. We need to learn what exactly they are. Cyrilda replies, causing Sarah to sigh. And that calls for drugging him. I know about the balance the black market has with us. I asked Lucian before. So why did that connection call for this? Sarah asks again, causing Cyrilda to sigh. Did Lucian tell you about Torvin? Cyrilda asks, causing Sarah to just look at her. I guess not. Well, Lorik has connections to Torvin. So who is Torvin? Rowan asks. He's an ex-noble of Calvaris, our war buddy. Cyrilda replies, causing King Eldrin to laugh. Buddy is not the right word. Anyway, that alone is bad news. Torvin is the black market's. He's just a master at gathering information. He's also a grand mage who was 8th tier but might be higher now. He commands a group in the black market. They're called the Eyes of the Night. They're called that because they see everything under the night sky. While that's a bold claim, they live up to it. They're also very secretive. The only reason we know of them is because of the name floating around the black market. To be honest, we don't have clear proof that they even exist. That's how secretive and carefully hidden they are. King Eldrin says, Torvin helped you too, you know. Vera says nervously. He was the one who made the anonymous report about the assassins last night. Lorik told him to do it, and Torvin said someone named Cal was the person who found them. And Lorik was going to tell you about this. It's what he's been wanting to tell you since he got back. She adds, causing the others to look at her in silence. She squirms under their gaze before Lorik starts moving. First his fingers flinch, and then his head suddenly jumps up. What the? He says while looking down. Lorik sees the broken mug and just laughs. Lorik, do you work in the black market? Cyrilda asks as Sarah sighs. She and Rowan know if they argue or try to stop her, Cyrilda will teleport them back to the academy. Vera's torn between stopping Cyrilda and her own curiosity. Yes, and the arena. Wait, that's in the black market. Lorik replies while swaying his head. Do you work for Torvin? Cyrilda asks. Yep, that bastard is my boss, Lorik says while raising a fist in the air. He's so annoying. If he'd stop it with all the damn teasing, he'd actually be reliable. That just pisses me off more, though. He adds with another laugh. Does this tea make him drunk? Vera asks, causing Lorik to laugh again. God, if there's a tea that gets you drunk, let me fill a pool with it, he says, surprising the others. Have you drunk before? Rowan asks in shock. Oh yeah, it's amazing. I have some now if you want. Wait, no, you can't have it. This is my custom stock. Lorik replies, causing Cyrilda to shake her head. What work do you do for Torvin? She asks. Well, at first I was just cleaning and maintaining his store. But after he helped me with something, I started doing other jobs. I'd infiltrate houses and follow people around. Just anything that could get the information I needed, really. Lorik explains. So are you a member of the Eyes of the Night? Cyrilda asks, causing him to groan. Don't call me that. I hate that stupid name. But yes, I am, Lorik says before going wide-eyed. Night Eyes? Maybe that's why I named Nyx Fang after night, he says while slamming his fist on his palm. Vera and Rowan break out in laughter seeing this. What was the worst crime you committed in the black market? King Eldrin asks, shushing the others. They all turn to look at Lorik nervously. I don't really commit crimes down there if I can prevent it. Though I guess going into the black market is a crime, Lorik says with a laugh. But the worst would be when I killed 3 people. He says, stunning them. Why did you kill 3 people? Sarah asks. They kidnapped my sister. So you know, I killed them. Lorik says, stunning them again. Wait, you have a sister. Where is she? Why didn't we know? Cyrilda asks, causing him to laugh. Oh, that's thanks to Torvin. I had him scrub the records of her. I was worried you found clues of her, so I'm glad to hear I was wrong. As for where she is, she's attending the prestigious Arcathan Institute. She's even top of her class. I'm so proud of her. Lorik says while smiling, "Why'd you clear the records of her? And how did those people get her?" King Eldrin asks, "Well, I had the records cleared after she left home. I thought she'd appreciate that. As for the 3 people, I asked them to track her. She left home and I was worried. I mean, she's only 1 year older than me. So I was worried about where she'd live and how she'd eat. I didn't go to Torvin because he just wanted to make me work for him. I knew he'd make that the payment for tracking her. So I asked around and got another group to do it. But I didn't do the proper research. I got a bad feeling and went to check on them the day after I hired them. I found they had kidnapped her and were planning to sell her." Lorik says before his smile turns chillingly cold. I tossed my soul sword into the back of the first man's head. He was behind the others who were facing my sister. So they had their backs to him. They didn't turn around until hearing the sound of him hitting the floor. By the time they did, it was too late. I stabbed the second in the knee, and he dropped down. I stabbed my blade into his skull and looked the last man in the eyes. He let out this most terrified scream. That just brought a smile to my face. I guess seeing this then 10-year-old kid smiling after killing 2 people terrified him too much. Because he passed out and pissed himself. I just slit his throat before taking my sister back home. I left her a note saying I found her passed out in an alley since I didn't know how they got her. I returned to Torvin and asked for his help. By the time I got back, she was gone again. As I expected, though, Torvin made me join his stupid Night Eye team. But he did put one of the other Night's Eyes in charge of observing my sister. So all in all, I was happy. Lorik replies before stretching his arms and yawning. How is your sister paying for the Institute? It costs too much to just work through. Cyrilda asks after a moment of silence. Oh, I'm helping her with that. Though she doesn't know it's me, so keep it secret. Lorik says with a sigh. He leans his head back and looks up at the ceiling longingly. The last time we saw each other, she said she hated my guts. Well, that's putting it mildly, but I don't like thinking about it. Lorik says before laying his head on his arms. But I've been sending her money every month since I got Tovin to keep an eye on her. I've been telling her I'm a friend of our father's from his army days. Dave, as I've been calling him, has no kids. Our father saved his life, so when he heard of what was happening, he started sending money to her. Over the years, I've told her some other friends from the old days were helping. Thanks to that, she didn't question when the monthly gold increased. So that's how she's been paying for the Institute. Lorik says, How are you affording both the Institute and the Academy? Eldrin asks. Oh, I make a killing in the arena, and it's a great way to distress. So that's how. Lorik replies, causing him to sigh. So is that why you work in the black market? To pay for your and your sister's enrollments? Cyrilda asks. Yes and no. At first, it was because I needed to pay off debts. My parents bought me a healing potion a month before they passed. I had broken my leg and it wouldn't have healed right without it. So they went into debt so I'd be able to run and walk properly. They had the income needed to pay it off in just a few months, but yeah. Anyway, after I paid it off, I kept working there just to save up. My sister always wanted to go to that institute. I planned to quit after saving up a bit to ensure she'd be able to. But then she ran away and I became indebted to Torvin. Honestly, I didn't plan on attending the academy. But when I comprehended my law, I decided to try it. Torvin didn't like it, but said to take advantage of my time here. I feel like that bastard has a plan for me, and it makes me mad how I always seem to fit into it. But I hope that the academy life would pull me out of the black market. But I just can't make enough here to cover all my expenses and my sister's. Lorik says before yawning again, Have you or Torvin ever planned to harm Sarah or the rest of your teammates? King Eldrin asks. Gods no, why would we? Honestly, I was shocked when I saw I was on Sarah's team. Though I absolutely bragged about getting into the castle, the other night eyes have been trying for years. I took a picture on my way out the other day. I can't wait to show it off. Lorik says with a laugh. Besides, if we did, then we'd have a war on our hands. The black market isn't interested in gaining more power. They just want enough to keep the current balance. I mean, they did turn away those assassins that came for Sarah before. Lorik says before his body starts going limp. Now good night, and sorry for lying, Master. Shit's just complicated, he says before falling asleep. Cyrilda just laughs upon hearing his words. Shit's just complicated. That's the most true statement I've ever heard, she says while turning to kind Eldring. Instead of laughing, he's just looking at her, his eyes asking seriously,